Hello, and welcome to Art Toronto, and I'm your host, Tony. Welcome aboard, and today we're going to take a trip on the GO train from Union Station to Oriole Station on the Richmond Hill line. Along the way, we're going to talk about the ins and outs of the entire GO train network. This is going to be a long format video that will include some general knowledge of the entire network, discussion about each of the 7 lines individually, and we're going to talk about some of the exciting GO train expansions currently in the works. Then finally, I'm going to share my opinions about GO Transit's train network. During this, I'm going to keep the route map up on the bottom of the screen so that you can follow along and show pictures of all of the stations throughout. I hope that you'll stay and enjoy the video. GO Transit, established in 1967 as Ontario's first inter-regional public transit service, has grown significantly from its original Lakeshore Line along Lake Ontario, expanding across the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area, and then further into the Greater Golden Horseshoe. This rail system, which began with a modest fleet of single-level coaches, now operates 90 powerful MPI MP40 locomotives and nearly 1,000 Bombardier bi-level coaches designed for the commuter rail system, supporting high-density passenger service. GO trains run on 7 primary rail corridors, each line connecting to major Toronto transit hubs like Union Station. By 2023, GO Transit served around 40 million riders annually and operated approximately 180 train trips per weekday, which is a staggering number. A standard GO Transit train consists of bi-level coaches, each accommodating about 150 passengers. Train lengths vary from 6 to 12 cars, depending on the route and time, resulting in capacities ranging from 900 to 1,800 passengers per train. First off, we're going to talk about the Lakeshore East line. The Lakeshore East GO train line, a critical component of the GO Transit network, serves the eastern part of the Greater Toronto area, connecting Toronto's Union Station to Oshawa, with various stops along the way. This line, like the Lakeshore West line, is one of the busiest routes in GO Transit system due to its high demand for regional transit to Toronto. Established in the late 1960s, the Lakeshore East line is the oldest line in the network, continually updated to meet growing commuter demand. Currently, Lakeshore East operates a 15-minute interval frequency during peak hours and 30-minute interval frequency during off-peak hours. Service improvements have been a part of ongoing expansion plans led by Metrolinx. Key stations on the line include Danforth, Scarborough, Rouge Hill, Pickering, and Whitby. With robust connections to local transit systems like the TTC, Durham Regional Transit, and other bus services, making it integral to multi-modal transit access across the GTA. Future developments for the line focus on increasing service frequency and expanding reach. A significant initiative under the GO expansion program is the Bowmanville extension, which would extend Lakeshore East roughly 20 kilometers from its current Oshawa terminus to Bowmanville. This expansion would cost around $730 million and is projected to attract nearly 7,000 new daily riders by 2041. It promises to reduce travel time, an important factor for commuters in the region, and would enhance connectivity between Durham Region and Toronto. In addition to the Bowmanville expansion, Metrolinx's broader GO expansion vision includes full electrification to the Lakeshore lines, promising cleaner, faster, and more frequent all-day two-way service. This upgrade would drastically improve travel times and environmental impact and meet the growing demand for a reliable alternative to car commuting. Then next we have the Lakeshore West line. The Lakeshore West line, operated by GO Transit, is one of the oldest and busiest commuter rail lines in Ontario, connecting downtown Toronto to the western part of the Greater Toronto area. This line originally opened in 1967 and spans from Union Station in Toronto to West Harbour GO in Hamilton. With train routes extending further to Niagara Falls, Lakeshore West provides critical service for thousands of daily commuters and is integral to the regional transit infrastructure. The Lakeshore West line traces back to the early 20th century, with Canadian National Railway and Canadian Pacific Railway service along the same corridors. The line was officially integrated into GO Train's GO Transit's network in 1967, marking the beginning of regional public rail service in the GTA. The launch of the Lakeshore West Line, along with the Lakeshore East Line, established the core of GO's rail service, offering reliable transportation between Toronto and surrounding communities. As of recent schedules, the Lakeshore West Line operates frequently, with trains running every 15 to 30 minutes during peak hours, and hourly during off-peak times between Union Station and Aldershot, with select trips extending to Hamilton and Niagara Falls, particularly in warmer months. Key stations along this line include Exhibition, Port Credit, Oakville, and Burlington, with connections available to the TTC, Meeway, and other regional transit services. The convenience of this line is heightened by fare integration, allowing passengers to transfer seamlessly across various transit systems without incurring additional costs. Metrolinx, the provincial agency overseeing GO Transit, has ambitious plans for Lakeshore West. The GO expansion project aims to bring all-day two-way service to the line, even during off-peak hours, by upgrading infrastructure and adding electrification. These improvements would significantly reduce travel times and improve service frequency. Additionally, new infrastructure developments like grade separations and station upgrades are in progress to minimize delays caused by conflicts with road traffic. The Lakeshore West Line's planned improvements are a cornerstone of the broader GO expansion initiative, which will transform regional rail and accommodate the growing demand for efficient public transit in the GTA. These upgrades will enhance connections with future projects like the Hazel Canyon LRT line in Mississauga and bolster the network's capacity to handle increasing ridership. The Lakeshore West Line remains essential to Ontario's public transit landscape, with continuous expansions aiming to meet the needs of Toronto and the surrounding region. And then next we have GO Transit's Stouffville Line. The Stouffville Line is one of GO Transit's commuter rail routes, connecting Toronto's Union Station with communities north to the Old Elm Station in Whitechurch, Stouffville. Originating from the Toronto and Nipissing Railway in the 1800s, the line has undergone multiple transformations, making it a vital regional corridor. Today it connects various points, including Agincourt, Milliken, and Unionville, serving as a significant commuter route into Toronto's core, with a unique blend of historical heritage and modern infrastructure. Currently, the Stouffville Line operates with several trains during peak hours and is expanding off-peak service as part of GO Transit's wider GO expansion program. The planned expansion promises all-day two-way service with trains every 10 minutes between Union and Unionville and every 30 minutes to Mount Joy. Additionally, Metrolinx has invested in modernizing stations such as Unionville, Milliken, and Agincourt, adding improved facilities and accessibility features like elevators, digital displays, and pedestrian bridges to accommodate the line's growing ridership. Future plans for the Stouffville Line are ambitious. The line's expansion to include more frequent service aligns with the GO Expansion Initiative, which aims to offer enhanced connectivity across the Greater Toronto Area. Key developments like adding a smart track station at Finch and Kennedy will provide smoother connections with TTC services. This project showcases Metrolinx's efforts to build a more integrated transit network in the region, easing travel for suburban commuters and improving accessibility for all. These improvements reflect ongoing investments in infrastructure that are anticipated to drive further ridership growth as the Stouffville corridor urbanizes, making it a pivotal element of regional transit expansion. Then next we have the Richmond Hill Line. The GO Transit Richmond Hill Line offers an important connection from Union Station in downtown Toronto to the suburban areas north of the city. Established in 1978, the Richmond Hill Line primarily serves communities along the Yonge Street Corridor and the Don Valley, making it a scenic but specialized line. However, its growth and future plans face challenges due to limited frequency and some ongoing infrastructure bottlenecks. Launched in 1978, the Richmond Hill Line was one of GO Transit's early expansions, meant to alleviate traffic pressures and serve growing suburban communities. The route traverses the Bala subdivision, a CN rail line that cuts through the scenic Don Valley north of Toronto. In recent years, expansions have added stations in Gormley and Bloomington, extending the line further into York Region. The Richmond Hill line currently offers limited service, primarily during peak hours, which caters to the suburban commuter crowd. Trains run inbound toward Union Station in the morning and outbound to Richmond Hill in the evening. This limited schedule is due, in part, to shared rail corridors with CN freight trains, which restrict the ability to provide all-day service. However, plans for increased frequency are in the works, contingent on infrastructure upgrades that would help the Richmond Hill line meet demand better during non-peak hours. To address service limitations, Metrolinx is exploring infrastructure upgrades, including a proposed rail-to-rail grade separation at Doncaster Junction. This underpass would eliminate interference with the CN freight trains, potentially allowing for more frequent commuter service. Additionally, there are discussions about further extending the line beyond Bloomington, with future stops at Vandorf Road and Aurora Road being considered. While these changes could enhance the Richmond Hill line's appeal, the line currently faces competition from the Yonge Subway Extension and other GO lines, which serve high-demand areas far north into North York Region. In summary, while the Richmond Hill line plays a valuable role in GO Transit network, it faces both operational and strategic challenges. Infrastructure improvements in line extension could boost its effectiveness, making it a stronger suburban transit option. However, balancing this line's development with other transit priorities in the region remains a pressing issue. Then next we have GO Transit's Barrie Line. The GO Transit Barrie Line, which connects downtown Toronto's Union Station to Barrie in Simcoe County, has a rich history and ongoing development aimed at expanding service and improving efficiency. The Barrie Line's roots date back to the mid-19th century, when it was originally a part of the Northern Railway of Canada, connecting Toronto to the northern parts of the province to support the transportation of goods, particularly lumber, to the city. Over time, the line became part of the Canadian National Railway, CNR, before GO Transit took it over in 1982. Initially, the Barrie Line ran limited services, mostly catering to weekday commuters between Toronto and communities like York Region and Barrie, and has gradually expanded over the years to meet growing demand. The line currently operates with a mix of peak and off-peak trains on weekdays, offering commuters an essential link from the suburbs of downtown Toronto on weekends. The Barrie Line provides limited service but covers key destinations, allowing residents in Simcoe County and York Region easy access to Toronto. Recent schedule adjustments have aimed to enhance efficiency, with track upgrades ongoing along the corridor to improve punctuality and reliability. However, services are occasionally impacted by track maintenance and development projects, and temporary bus shuttles sometimes replace trains during major works. The Barrie Line is set to benefit from the GO Expansion Program, a transformative project led by Metrolinx to enhance the GO Transit network. Planned improvements include all-day two-way service between Toronto and Barrie, additional double tracking, and future electrification of the line. The electrification initiative is expected to reduce carbon emissions and contribute to a quieter and more sustainable transit system. Additionally, the expansion is likely to feature more frequent trains and infrastructure improvements that will accommodate anticipated population growth and rising commuter needs in the greater Golden Horseshoe region. These enhancements, when completed, will establish the Barrie Line as a more efficient and reliable transportation option, potentially boosting economic activity and residential development along its corridor. Then next we have the Milton Line. The GO Transit Milton Line is one of the busiest routes on the GO network. It runs west from Toronto's Union Station through key suburban areas, terminating at Milton. First introduced in 1981, the Milton Line was developed to accommodate rapidly growing commuter demand in the western Greater Toronto area, especially given limited highway capacity along the parallel highway 401. Since its inception, the line has catered mainly to commuters traveling to and from Toronto, with schedules heavily oriented toward weekday peak times. Currently, the Milton Line operates with 7 peak period trips, each way on weekdays, connecting Toronto to stations in Mississauga, Etobicoke, and Milton. Despite its popularity, the line's service frequency is restricted due to track sharing with freight operators like Canadian Pacific Railway, which controls much of the rail corridor. Consequently, this route has fewer off-peak and weekend services compared to other lines, such as Lakeshore East and West, which have dedicated GO tracks. In recent updates, GO has been gradually restoring and adjusting services on the Milton Line as demand rises post-COVID-19. This has included new weekday trips to reduce crowding during peak hours. Metrolinx, the agency overseeing GO Transit, has proposed several enhancements for the Milton Line under the GO expansion plan. The ultimate goal is to introduce two-way all-day service. However, the shared corridor limits the scope of what Metrolinx can achieve independently. To overcome this, Metrolinx has considered building additional infrastructure and securing more dedicated tracks, although this has been a complex negotiation process with CP Rail. Metrolinx's planned improvements to the line aim to increase capacity, reliability, and service frequency, addressing both commuter and residential growth in the Western GTA. Future proposals also include modernized stations, additional parking, and better connectivity with transit services like MeWay and the TTC, particularly at key transfer points such as Kipling Station. The Milton Line has faced criticism due to its limited service, especially for suburban residents looking for reliable off-peak travel options. Comparatively, the line lacks the robust infrastructure seen on other GO lines, which restricts flexibility and efficiency. Additionally, expansion efforts have been delayed by the complex negotiations with freight rail operators, leading to frustrations from municipalities and passengers alike, who see the line as essential to the region's growing population. While there is excitement for expanded service on the Milton Line, much of this vision relies on funding communities and complex infrastructure developments that will require coordination across multiple stakeholders. Then we have the Kitchener Line. The GO Transit's Kitchener Line, one of Ontario's busiest rail corridors, connects Toronto's Union Station to Kitchener, passing through key cities like Brampton and Guelph. Initially established as the Georgetown Line in 1974, it extended west to serve Kitchener-Waterloo in 2011, providing a vital commuter link for the Waterloo region's rapidly growing population. Currently, the Kitchener Line operates with peak period and off-peak period services to accommodate rising demand, with future plans aiming to provide two-way all-day service to Kitchener. Metrolinx has gradually increased service on the line and is working on substantial infrastructure upgrades to make these improvements possible. Recent changes include adding trips between Toronto and Kitchener, enhancing frequency, and creating express services for major stops like Brampton and Guelph. Plans are also underway for stations at key transit hubs, such as Mount Dennis, which will connect to the Eglinton Crosstown LRT, expected to ease transfers between regional and local transit systems. A significant challenge to the expansion of the two-way all-day service is that the tracks between Bramalea and Georgetown are owned by CN Rail, a freight operator. Metrolinx is negotiating with CN to address shared-use constraints on this segment. Additionally, Metrolinx is exploring options to electrify the line to increase service frequency, though full electrification will likely remain on hold until these logistical issues are resolved. Future improvements focus on more frequent service, reduced travel time, and the introduction of additional facilities, and enhanced parking to accommodate increased ridership. With growing commuter interest and ongoing infrastructure developments, the Kitchener Line is expected to play an increasingly critical role in connecting communities across the Greater Toronto and Southwestern Ontario region. It's worthy of mentioning that the Kitchener Line used to go to London, but that was terminated recently. I'm not sure why, so if you know them, please let me know in the comments. So these are the current GO Transit developments. GO Transit plans to electrify major sections of its rail network, especially the Lakeshore East, Lakeshore West, Kitchener, Barrie, and Stouffville lines. Electrification is projected to bring faster and more environmentally friendly train service. One of the main goals of the GO expansion is to introduce all-day two-way service on core lines, which would mean trains running every 15 minutes or better on popular routes such as Kitchener, Milton, and Barrie. Some of this infrastructure, in the way of tracks being doubled, is currently already underway. The only line that seems to have difficulty being expanded, and for which there are currently no plans for as far as I'm aware, is the one that we are currently on, which is the Richmond Hill line. I have been told that this is because of the terrain and difficulty of doing so would cause, but I argue that trains could just pass each other at one of the stations along the way. But I would love to see better service on this route. As of right now, there are only 4 trains that stop each direction every day at Oriole and Old Comer stations in North York. This will transform GO from peak-only commuter rail to a more accessible option for midday and off-peak travel. Some of the new stations under construction or planned include Confederation Station in Hamilton, along the Lakeshore West line that is, and Breslau Station on the Kitchener line, both aiming to increase access and convenience for riders. So here are the benefits and the downsides of GO Transit. In one word to summarize GO Transit, I would say that it's in a class of its own. By European standards, this would be considered to be an average to below average frequency. But by North American standards, it's next level compared to any other North American city that I'm aware of. The trains are clean, well maintained, run on time, and the prices for using them are very reasonable. This trip that we're on right now cost around $5, an absolute bargain in my opinion. I personally love the trains. The staff are very helpful and pleasant. They are a very comfortable ride with USB and outlet ports. And I love how they weave through the city with accessibility at several points. Speaking of accessibility, here's where we run into some problems. There are several stations along the network, such as the one that we will be arriving at momentarily, that it's safe to say are not well connected to the TTC. Not to mention the limited service on some lines. On the Lakeshore East and West lines, this is not a big problem. There are large parking lots and very good accessibility through local transit. However, along the Barrie, Stouffville, and Richmond Hill lines, these come with their challenges. In most cases, if you don't drive a car, it's pretty hard to access some of these stations, as these are built on the drive to and park at the train station model. Having said that, I absolutely love the GO train network that we have. I personally don't use it for any regular commuting, but I definitely go out on my way to take it when I can. I tend to use it for taking connecting trips through Union Station, like to Oakville and Niagara Falls. That works out very well if planned correctly. I think that it's a fantastic service provided by Metrolinx, where in this case they do a fantastic job at operating the GO train network. So we're now going to be arriving at our destination, which is Oriole Station. Thank you for watching all the way through. I hope that you enjoyed this long format video, and if so, then please let me know and maybe I'll make some more. Where would you like to see GO Transit's train network expanded to? Let me know in the comments. I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching and happy transiting.